Hi everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Season 3, Episode 3, Courtside Conundrum. Okay guys, we are picking up exactly where we left off last week. It is night 1 in Scottsdale, Arizona. Whitney is crying. She explains that it's because she has uncovered this childhood trauma that she has buried deep down inside, which has caused her to block out her life from age 9 to 17. And she has just told the ladies about it. Heather, her cousin, is the most visibly upset, and she's trying to make sense of it. Like, she wants to know how Whitney uncovered this. Why does she know now? Like, what happened? I think she might be a little skeptical, not like of Whitney, but almost like that somebody's maybe taking advantage of Whitney. Like, I don't know, let's just say one of her healers, for example. So she's asking kind of pointed questions like, how did you figure this out? Whitney's just like, it's just like, it's hard to explain. Do I have to go back there? And Heather's like, no, of course not. Whitney, you know when you get feelings and you don't know where they came from? I've learned that the abuse has gone on generationally. I'm literally breaking the cycle for my family, and that's all I care about. Heather's like, I'm feeling betrayed for you. In her confessional, she's like, my heart is breaking. So Whitney says, that it's hard for some people to be vulnerable. It wasn't hard for her to be vulnerable, but she understands that it's hard for some people. And Heather points to Lisa, and Whitney goes, and Meredith, too. Meredith, I think all my problems last year stemmed because I did make myself vulnerable. You open up and you feel like you just get slapped in the face for it. Lisa, Meredith, I owe you an apology. I apologized in LA, and I want to say it again. What I said was hyperbolic. I don't mean what I said. I was very hurt, and I regret what I said. Meredith, only Meredith could take it this way. Meredith, so you don't regret the vitriol, venom, and hatred that you spewed? You don't regret what you said, only your choice of words. Lisa, Meredith, I'm deeply sorry. Meredith, wait, back it up. The things you said, I never confided in you because I never fully trusted you. Lisa, okay, thank you for telling me that. Meredith, the things you said you made up. In Lisa's confessional, the producer said, did you make up all that stuff you said about Meredith in your rant? Lisa, no. So now at the table, Lisa goes, I'm human and I was hurt. Now Jen leans over to her and said, you probably should have told her what was going on. Meredith, because somebody told you I said your house was ugly. Then we get a flashback.
You spoke poorly of my whole family. And somebody had just told me that you were making fun of my renovation and stuff, and I was like upset. And I was like,
what did I say about your renovation?
That you said like I live in a shit house.
Oh no! Did she move into Erica's shitty neighborhood? So Meredith tells her that if you want to move on, your behavior is unacceptable, and that one day was not an aberration. There have been other instances of you speaking very poorly of me. Lisa's like, there have not. Meredith, can I finish speaking, Lisa? You're an interrupter, and it's very impolite. Oh, God. Are you sure you want to be friends with her, Lisa? She's insufferable. Meredith basically tells Lisa that if she doesn't think she needs help, they're done. If she does admit that she needs help to, change, Meredith will help her with that. God. Now we get Heather's hilarious confessional.
Coming from Meredith's mouth are not dirty or mean, but they cut a bitch. Once I meet with your therapist and she deems you worthy, then I shall perhaps consider a path to resolution. But until then, I can't help you. I can't help you until you help yourself.
Whitney now tells Lisa to just explain where your pain is coming from and then be done. Lisa goes, Listen, I would tell you, I was hurt and it was just disregarded. Everybody here talks about everybody else. I'm not going to slit my wrists for anybody. Meredith. That's a horrible thing to say. Lisa. No, it's not. Meredith. You know what? Just stop. Just stop. Everyone's quiet. Jen very quietly leans over to Lisa and says, she had a family member. And Lisa goes, what? Jen, that tried to commit suicide. Poor Lisa. She's like, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, Meredith. Meredith, oh, she didn't know that. That's what she's going to try and tell me? Oh, my God. Lisa, I'm so sorry, Meredith, that I used that analogy. Meredith, I think we need to stop for a minute. I've had enough. So now Jen tells everyone that she wouldn't be there if it wasn't for Sharif and her boys. And, there are more important things in life. And she hopes that no one ever has to go through what she's going through. Okay, well, I feel like that would be easy to avoid. Just don't swindle the elderly. Anyway, this speech is about letting go of petty stuff. And everyone, with the exception of Meredith, is like, amen, Jen, that's right. Meredith. Lisa, I appreciate your apology, but we are nowhere near resolution. If that's what you want, then we need to have much more discussion. But I do appreciate your apology. Thank you. Lisa. Thanks for hearing me. I appreciate that. Okay, finally, it is Scottsdale, Arizona, day 2. It's the next morning, and who's the cheerful, fun, let's get ready for a bike trolley drinking trip? Is it cruise director Julie McCoy? No, it is future inmate Jen Shaw. Not a care in the world but to get her friends out of their funk and to have some fun. Lisa calls John. You guys know I love to see how people have other people in their phones. And this is JB, husband, boss. She tells him about the night before. Her takeaway seems to be that I apologized to Meredith. She played doctor for a little bit, but overall she feels resolve in it all. Okay. That's an optimistic spin, I think. Okay, also, I guess Lisa planned a rodeo for the girls to go to because she loves horses. Well, I hope that doesn't clash with the boozy bike trolley. Side note, isn't this Whitney's trip? I thought Whitney was making all the plans. Oh, maybe she left for her brother's house because she was going to visit him on this trip. Oh, nope. There's Whitney just sitting sideways in a bathtub, blowing bubbles. Heather goes into Meredith's room while her team is doing her makeup. Heather thinks it's absurd to have glam in Arizona. Who are you going to impress? The cacti? The tumbleweeds? It's very Jen Shaw of you, she says. So Heather goes, are you going to move forward with Lisa? Meredith, here's the thing. Oh no, is there time for a Meredith speech right now? Don't you guys have a trolley to catch or a horse to catch? I don't know at this point. Meredith, you can apologize until you're blue in the face, but unless you're willing to change the behavior, the apology becomes irrelevant. Heather goes, I still don't understand how Lisa can show you that she wants to be your friend, and I think you're coming off as condescending and superior. Yeah. Good for you, Heather. Meredith, I'm not superior. But you are condescending? Is that it? Are you admitting to that? She goes, I'm just telling you that I don't find it acceptable to treat me that way, Heather. I won't open up and get stabbed in the back. And Heather goes, well, I'd like you to look at your life and think of other people who you have given more grace than Lisa. Stop being a condescending, superior bitch. Come down a few notches and let's have fun. Wow. Heather is serving up some tough love for Meredith. She actually said all that to her face. It wasn't just like a confessional comment. Okay, so the van is here. Jen's working her megaphone. and it's time for the bike trolley booze cruise. Side note, is it going to be sad with just 5 people on the trolley? I feel like New Jersey had like 14 on their trolley. I don't know. 5? It just seems like 5 women pedaling and sipping wine or something. Well, here comes the driver in a captain hat. And oh my God, I just remembered how much I hate the people that run these things. It's so like over the top. Hey, are we having fun now? Who needs some alcohol? Okay, when we get to a red light, I want you to all drink. And it's a lot. Kill me now. Sorry, Meredith. Oh God, this guy's t-shirt says riding dirty in the Dale or riding in the dirty Dale. I don't know what it says. I don't love it. Side note, I love that Whitney is wearing her little seatbelt. Like she's gonna fall off the bike. Oh, hold up. Whitney is now hugging a wooden post saying stripper pole. Whitney, it's a square post. Like, ouch. Plus, you're scaring Dirty Dale. He's looking behind like, am I liable for their safety? Because not only does she have her seatbelt off, but she's climbing this thing like a monkey. Oh my God, what is happening? We have been on this trolley for approximately 4 minutes, and Whitney is hanging upside down from the rafters. Jen is pouring a White Claw down her skirt, upper skirt, I don't know how, whatever. Jen and Whitney clearly not helping with the pedaling right now. So you were already just starting with 5 pedalers. Don't make Dirty Dale do all of the pedaling, okay? He won't have enough energy to make stupid comments. Wait, is Heather also just pouring her drink into the center of the trolley? This cannot be acceptable to Meredith, right? What am I watching here? Did they all just drink like a hot cup of cacao ayahuasca before they got on this trolley? Did I drink a hot cup of ayahuasca? I mean, I'm not even sure if I'm seeing this right. Nobody's drinking. They're all just pouring their drinks on each other. It's like I went from the 5 ladies pedaling, Whitney with her seatbelt on, then I blinked my eyes and they've all gone insane. Now it's wet t-shirt contest. They're pouring drinks down each other's shirts. Meredith is participating, by the way. In Whitney's confessional, she goes, watching Lisa and Meredith passive-aggressively throw cheap wine on each other. I'm living for it. Blink, blink. Meanwhile, your underwear is soaked with that cheap wine. So you cannot be comfortable right now. Well, it is blissfully over. That was nuts. Captain Kev, aka Dirty Dale, is like, did y'all have a good time? He's a broken man. They're like, yeah, woohoo. I mean, ask the person who's got to clean up that trolley if they're having a good time. Okay, now we are at Lisa's rodeo thing. And I'm sorry, they're all in the same clothes, but no way did this get filmed in the right sequence. I'm calling this one. Whitney, with her like sticky legs, she's probably got 2 cans worth of wine in her boots sloshing around. There's no way. These ladies, their clothes have dried and they look fresh as a daisy. So yeah, either this was filmed out of sequence or everybody went home, took showers, redid their hair and makeup, and had their clothes cleaned, dried, pressed, and put on again. There's no way. Okay, so Lisa goes, okay, everybody, so there's a reason I'm in Dior boots. You guys are gonna love this show. Okay, so these are women, like they're horse riding women that performed for like the Dior 2019 show, and they were featured in Vogue. They're like synchronized horse riders. You know, like synchronized swimming, they do all these like different formations on horseback. It's actually very impressive. Oh, and it's a private show for the ladies, which is also weird because I feel like they're like way up in the stands and they're the only people there. But maybe they had to be up high. I'm just thinking this through right now because the camera was showing us like from a top down angle so that we could see the different patterns that the ladies were performing. I don't know. It was a cool show. Anyway, after that, the riders come and talk to the ladies. Whitney goes, explain to me how you're sitting on the horse, because I've never seen that before. And they're like, oh, it's called side saddle. And this is how women used to have to ride because it wasn't ladylike or whatever. And Heather goes, it's called keeping your legs together, Whitney. And Whitney's like, oh, so now they have outfits for the ladies to put on that are like their dresses. Thank God, a change of clothes. So Heather and Lisa go and change away from the other three. And of course, this is just a ploy to get Lisa to talk about Meredith, and the others are getting Meredith to talk about Lisa. Meredith would like to make it very clear that I did not spread rumors about Lisa. Meredith would get along very well with Teresa Giudice. I didn't spread it. I was just asking a question, like, did you hear about Evan? You know, like, doing stuff. Like, at the gym. Did you hear anything? I'm not spreading a rumor. I'm just asking on TV. Whitney thinks that it's only fair that they tell Lisa about the rumors. In Meredith's confessional, she's like, Whitney, are you kidding me? You're the one that said, let's make this trip light and fun for Jen. Basically what Heather said last week. Now the ladies get on the horses to ride in their dresses, side saddle. And, you know, I guess they had fun. And now give yourselves a round of applause, folks. We have made it to the garbage, trash, whore lingerie party. Things are starting out great for Whitney and Heather. Whitney, again, says that she would like to tell Lisa about the rumors that Meredith has definitely not been spreading. Just to be clear. Whitney goes, think about it. I'm trying to help Lisa mend a bridge with Meredith, and Meredith mend a bridge with Lisa. Heather goes, no, it seems like you want to do the opposite, so stop. Now they're in the kitchen cooking in their lingerie. Heather's like preparing some vegetables or something, and she asks Whitney to preheat the oven. Oh, God. Meredith walks in a bustier and leather pants, or like patent leather pants, and an I Heart New York hat. I mean, she's really milking that joke for all it's worth. She had the mug in her confessional. Now she's got the hat. Okay, we get it. I don't know if this is supposed to prove that she's a good sport, or, you know, that she has, in fact, half of New York. I don't know. Lisa now walks in full pajamas. What part of garbage, trash, whore lingerie did you not understand? Lisa's like, I feel sexy in this. Okay. Jen is in a full-on lace bodysuit with like a corset, her megaphone. She got the memo. Well, it was her party, so. Okay, now Whitney is in the backyard in like a little lace bralette and a thong, and she is manning the grill. She's got some steaks on the grill, and Jen comes out there with her. And of course, they start talking about Lisa's affairs. And Jen goes, I'm not the one that brought it up. Meredith did. And here comes Meredith now. Whitney says she feels like she's put in the middle, and Meredith says, the truth is that you had a lot more to say about it than I did. We flash back to like a week earlier when Meredith came over to Whitney's house. That's when Whitney told the whole story about the very wealthy, well-known Utah businessman that Lisa was performing sexual favors for in exchange for him investing in Vita tequila. I don't know. Fresh Wolf. These are the details Jack needs to know before he starts to run a business on his own. But in addition to that, this flashback gives us even more that we didn't see before. Whitney says to Meredith, you know Angie Harrison? The second Angie, you guys. Angie H. Meredith nods. Whitney goes, we were at a jazz game the other night, and John and Jack were sitting in this man's seats. So back to the trash whore party. Whitney, I think it needs to be said. Meredith goes, go ahead. And then Whitney goes, I need you to say it. Meredith is like, I'm not going to do that. Meanwhile, inside, Heather and Lisa are talking, and Heather's like, let's just eat and then go to bed early tonight. And they're like, that's the agreement they made. Yeah, let's do that. Now back outside, something about Whitney not being Nancy Drew. I don't know. I'm confused. For some reason, Whitney feels like she's always the one that has to confront somebody. She's like, everyone's giving me info and I can not and will not know more. Meredith goes, no one's asking you to. Whitney, is she drunk? Is Whitney drunk? Is that what's happening? Is that why I can't understand her? She's like, no one's asking, but everyone expects me to. And they're dropping information and doing it all. Meredith goes, what are you even talking about? Good question. Well, Whitney just takes off into the house very determined. She walks in and she walks past Lisa and Heather and she's like pissed. And they're both like, Whitney, what's wrong? Whitney, I'm done. They're like, what's going on? Whitney, just shut up, please. Everyone, let me just get this out on my own. Now Jen and Meredith are there too. Everyone's sitting around the dining room table. Whitney, I'm having a hard time because for the first time since I've known you, I feel like we have a real friendship. She's saying that to Lisa. I feel so conflicted because I have talked with Meredith about your marriage. Rumors about you. Lisa's stunned. There's a pause. And Lisa goes, retaliation is a f***ing bitch. Whitney, thank you for telling me that. There is no infidelity. My marriage is great. And Heather's like, everyone, let's eat and we'll talk about this over dinner like adults. Does anyone believe that? Lisa wants to know what the rumor is, and Whitney tells her about that successful businessman, blah, blah, blah. And Lisa's like, are you fucking kidding me? That's disgusting. That is disgusting. Disgusting. It's disgusting. That poor man. I mean, just say it didn't happen. You don't have to say like just the mere thought is disgusting. So Heather goes, well, that's what Meredith told Whitney. No, actually, Whitney told him Meredith. Anyway, Meredith sets that straight real quick. And Lisa goes, do you all feel good about hurting me even more? In Jen's confessional, she goes, Jen Shah who? I'm fighting for my life, but y'all are fighting for jazz courtside ticket seats? Lisa and Meredith start bickering now until Lisa finally breaks down and she's like, we're done, Meredith. She's crying. I'm taking the brunt of so much. She needs to go call her husband now. So she walks off crying, my family is all I have. Now Jen loses it. Guess what? Literally, all I have is my family. Now Whitney tells Jen that she stands by everything she said. Meredith is like, well, not everything, because you did cause confusion with what you said to me. Whitney goes, I did not create confusion. Heather, yes, you created a little confusion. Whitney goes, well, okay, then go clear it up. Meredith goes to Lisa's room to talk to her, but Lisa just wants her out. But Meredith is telling her that Whitney is the one that said that about the guy with the jazz tickets. And so now Lisa goes storming out of her bedroom. They go back into the dining room and she wants to confront Whitney. So she says, Whitney, did you bring up the rumors? And Whitney said no, because it isn't the rumors that she brought up. It's just she brought it up about that guy specifically. But in her confessional, Lisa's like, it doesn't matter who brought it up. The question is, did you engage in the conversation or shut it down? Meredith tells Lisa that even though I did not spread the rumors, yeah, I think we're all clear on that, Meredith, I shouldn't have said anything at all. Side note, is it just me or would you guys have laughed at the idea of giving someone sexual favors for your tequila brand, like to put your brand in a store or in a bar or a restaurant or something? for them to carry your brand of tequila. Would you have laughed at the idea of you performing sexual favors for it? Because I think I would have just started laughing at that. I don't know. I think I would have just cracked up, probably made a few jokes about it, and that would have been the end of it. Because it is so absurd. And even at the time Meredith said something about rumors, she said they're hard to believe. Heather said the same thing. They're ridiculous, the rumors. So I think she should have laughed him off. I don't know. So Meredith says that she apologizes and Lisa says thank you. But I take the brunt of everything. She's going off on her tirade. And Heather whispers or just kind of mouths to Jen across the table. This trip was for you. It was to have fun and celebrate you. Lisa's upset, crying, saying she's an empath. Meredith's like, why don't you take a few minutes? And I'm coming to check on you in 4 minutes. And then she goes, I don't know why I said 4. So Jen goes to find Lisa. And Lisa's like, I love you, but I also love myself. And I know that I need to call it a night. I'm going to go to bed. And Jen's like, okay. At the table, Whitney really does seem drunk right now. She's like, I'm sick of being the one that's thrown under the bus. You own what you said. And Meredith goes, all I did was clear up one thing because Heather said that I told you about the jazz ticket guy. And Heather goes, I didn't know. I thought Meredith told you, Whitney. And here's where things go south for Whitney and Heather. Whitney says, I have told you everything, Heather. We were at the jazz game with Angie H. Heather goes, yeah, and you said that's who Lisa's f***ing, the guy in her seats? Whitney goes, I didn't say it. You sat in the front 2 seats on New Year's Eve with Angie. Angie told us that John Barlow and Jack have those tickets because Lisa sleeps with... And then they bleep out the person's name. That's how I heard it. And you were there, Heather. Heather swears she did not hear that. She's like, it's a lie. If I knew it, I would say it. But I didn't hear it. Don't you think I would love to have that information on her? And I believe her because what's the harm in going, yes, I heard somebody say that rumor, but I never repeated it because I thought it was ridiculous. I don't think Heather would deny ever even knowing the rumor. So now Whitney screams, you're lying right now. Heather, tell me how. Whitney, because I stood courtside at the jazz game. Oh my God, enough. We know you had courtside seats with Angie H. Who cares? And she told us that. Heather goes, I sat next to Angie H. and you were 2 rows back on the other side. When did she say that? Whitney, when we were walking off and we took a selfie. And she goes, that's who Lisa sleeps with for the jazz tickets. Okay, it sounds to me like Angie H. is just mean, right? Like, oh, who'd she have to do for those tickets? It probably started off like that, and now Angie tells everybody Lisa sleeps for those tickets, or she's sleeping around to get somebody to invest in her, you know, stupid tequila, Vita Tequila company. Can't wait to meet Angie H. So now Jen's back and she's like, wait, what? She just comes in on the end of that's who Lisa sleeps with. So now Heather screams, I didn't hear that f***ing nugget. Nugget. Then she goes, if I had, I would have f***ed him too. Because I love sitting courtside. And f*** you for calling me a liar. And Whitney goes, you called me a liar. She's just like, God damn you. And Heather storms off and she's like, f*** you. And she leaves and Whitney's just sitting at the table and she goes, please, I would love to be f***ed. Blink, blink. To be continued. It feels like kind of a big mess. I don't know. Do you guys think that that's why Angie H is going to be a friend of or whatever? Because, you know, probably a big part of this season is going to be getting to the bottom of what she said about Lisa Barlow. All right, that's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. And I'll see you next time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I love you guys. Bye.
you.